All right, y'all. I want to welcome you to today's training. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm going to be sharing my screen here too today, but in a minute as everybody's climbing on. Hey, Matthew, how are you, bud?
Hey, how we doing?
Man, your video looks so good.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Lisa always shows up with all this enthusiasm. Look at her, man. Lisa, you don't go unnoticed, girl. Okay.
Lisa, you're everywhere. We all see it. We love it.
Thank you for all your support, Lisa. All right, well, I'm just gonna get started. How's that, y'all? I don't care, Matthew. You run the show back there, and I'm just gonna get going. So, I am gonna be going for the next hour, though. Let me share my screen. Today, what I wanted to do is over the last few weeks, I've talked about we did business planning clinic, we did a goal setting clinic, and so I just want everybody to continue that progress, like continue doing it. Continue going through your business plan, making those adjustments, your goals. Right now is a great time to work on these things. As you can see, it's a little bit slower. Most people check out this time of year. What we want to do is we want to don't check out. Like, we want to work on it in this season. So you're working on it from planning the business to our goals, but also in mindset. I want to share with you several things around mindset today, because I think everything that we've already talked about is wrapped around mindset. If we don't have the right mindset, then it's hard for us to get the results. It's hard for us to implement, execute, and do it consistently. So I'm going to give you some nuggets today to help you with this. It's called Next Level Mindset. So make sure you got your pen, paper, take notes. I'm going to be going as much as I can here for the next 45 minutes to an hour to help you. So with that, welcome everybody as everybody's coming on. So here's my question for you right now today. Are you happy with where you are in your business and life financially? Like, just take a self-assessment. Am I happy with where I am? And if you're not happy with where you are, then here's what I'm going to tell you to do. You got to change, because today is a direct result of your actions the last 6 months. So if today you're not happy with the results you're getting, it's because what we've been doing for the last 6 months isn't working. So if we want a different result 6 months from today, we have to make the decision to change. And this is where my life work is in helping people change. It's equipping you with the tools to change, inspiring you to change, helping you become aware of change. And I know that change is hard for most, because most people are comfortable, but not today. We're going to break through all of these fears. I'm going to show you how to do it. And the best way to do it, I wrote about this in Listing Boss, my book that I wrote back in 2017. I talked about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. And this is the best explanation of mindset that I could even explain to you. That if you had a choice, you have a choice today to choose a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. The majority of the population, your friends and family, have a fixed mindset. Most of you have a growth mindset, but let me explain what this is so you know the difference. So when you're hanging out with your family at the holiday, you'll be like, oh, there, Aunt Karen over there with that fixed mindset, talking negative about everything, right? You're going to know it's a fixed mindset. And you are the only one going to be showing up to Christmas with a growth mindset, y'all. So it's lonely in the growth mindset area. You're the only one with this mindset in your environment and where you are. So this is going to, what does it do? It helps other people notice a difference. It inspires change in other people. So here's what a growth mindset is. It's failure, which we all fail. It's not failure. It's an opportunity to grow. I can learn and do anything that I want. There is no limitations. Challenges help me grow. So challenge away. My effort and attitude determine my abilities. Feedback is constructive. I'm inspired by the success of others. And I like to try new things. Aunt Karen, though, on the other side, here's how she thinks. Failure is a limit of her ability. She's failed, a few times, and so she stops trying. She's either good at it or she's not. Their abilities are unchanging. That's why they judge you in your change, because they still look at you the same. You with me? Why? Because it's fixed thinking. So they don't like to be challenged. They can either do it or they can't. The potential is predetermined. When they're frustrated, they give up. Feedback and criticism are personal. Don't you be criticizing no fixed thinker, man. You won't be talking to them. They will cut you out of their life because you criticize them, and they stick to what they know. This is why, we talk about haters. It's really fixed thinkers trying to pull down the growth thinkers. So when you understand this, that it's more of a spiritual battle than anything. And so in the growth mindset, now I'm not saying that like, you go through life and you just have a growth mindset all the time. You're going to have times of fixed thinking, but I want you to be educated enough to know what it is. That's not true. Like that's me thinking fixed thinking. Like, of course I can do, achieve, and become anything I want to in life and business. So like, this is what I want you to do. I want you to start coaching yourself in these two areas. Start questioning yourself. Am I thinking like a growth thinker or a fixed thinker? Am I hanging around with too many fixed thinkers? Because everywhere I go, I feel deflated. I feel like people try to bring me down. I feel like people try to criticize me and and throw water on my dreams. Why? Because maybe you're hanging around the wrong people. But here's what I'll do. I want you to hang out with the fixed thinkers, but don't spend too much time with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it enough to give them a jolt and get back after it. But I want you to know this difference, because this is what prevents people from achieving their highest potential. Here's the core belief that I want you to have, that I know this. I know that I have experienced enough in life and business to know that there's enough information to conclude that you can achieve and become anything you want in life and business. I believe that. I believe, y'all, I could become the president of the United States in 2024 if I wanted to. I really believe that. Like, how and why, I don't know. I don't need to know all that, but I know that I can if I want to. So like, and this is the same for you. You can do anything that you want. So there's no, oh, you can't, you don't have this, and you're not from there. None of that stuff's true. That's all fixed thinking. So we got to change our thinking to change our life, change our results so we can create lasting change. You see, I don't want to just create change. I want this stuff to last. I want this stuff to be like in you and on you all the days of your life, that, you talk to your kids about this stuff when you're taking them to school, you're seeing them in the holiday. I want this to be stuff that lasts forever, because this is what's going to give you purpose and passion throughout your career, throughout your life. And one of these people that I've always learned from, I don't learn from a lot. Let me take that back. I don't listen to everybody. Most people I listen to are dead. Okay. Why? Because I like wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I don't like shiny objects. I like wisdom. One of these people is Jim Rohn. If you don't know Jim Rohn, you hear me talk about him all the time, because I'm always sharing his quotes because his stuff is phenomenal. And it's exactly what I believe. Jim says this: if you want to have more, you have to become more. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. For things to improve, you have to improve. And if you grow, everything grows for you. So here's the best part. Go look in the mirror. It's up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to your marketplace. It's up to you. Like, you have full control over this entire process. You have full control over your mindset, full control over your choices. And what this does, it gives you freedom. Do y'all feel this freedom around this mindset? Like, it's up to you. And up to you only. And this is the best part, is it gives you the personal power, as I'm going to talk about today, to be able to accomplish anything. But on this journey, here's what's going to happen. Fear comes up. I believe fear is Satan himself, preventing you from becoming the best version of you. Fear is what the devil uses to keep you where you are, to keep you from taking action, to keep you thinking fixed thinking, to keep you in the place of the unknown, to keep you in the place of fear of taking action. But I want to help you with this, because we all have fear. It's just people manage their fear better than others. So I have fear. It's just, I don't think my fear is the same way as everybody else. Like, I don't look at fear as debilitating. I look at fear as, like, this is what I love, actually. You know what drives me is a little fear. You know what I mean? That unknown of craziness. I love getting out there in the crazy zone and seeing what comes from it. And this fear, once you get on the other side of it, is where all of the best fruits of life it's where all the results are. It's what prevents the 97% of people out there to choose comfort. It's what prevents them from choosing conquer. So I want to give you a distinction. Choose comfort or conquer over comfort. In everything you do, you're going to have a choice. And the choice is going to be comfort or conquer. man, should I go do this? Should I invest here? Comfort or conquer? What are we doing? And, and I talked about this a few weeks ago. When we're making these choices, this is the story that we tell ourselves. So choosing comfort is, look at this guy on the left. That's comfort right there. It leads to nothing. It leads to that. The unknown and conquer leaves us to where freedom is and where all the fruits are. I love this illustration because this is what brings a lot of this stuff home. You see, this is where you have two parts. You have your comfort zone, and then outside your comfort zone, which is the unknown. You see, you've never been to the place that you're going, so it's really impossible to stay in your comfort zone of where you are and what you know, and to stay there because you've never been to where we're going. So for us to change, and remember, today's topic is next level mindset. For us to have a mindset that will take us to the next level, we have to leave the nest. We have to fly from one nest to the unknown. And in there is where we get the space to grow. If we're always staying in our comfort zone, we're never going to grow. That's why I tell all the young people, man, all the young people out there living with their parents and when they're 30 years old, I'm like, you're never going to be successful. Those people, let me tell you something, will never be successful though, because they've never left the nest. Y'all agree with that? I've been on my own since I was 16, so it's easy for me to say that. But like I look around and I'm like, look, all the magic happens in that unknown. So we need to be able to leave that place. Like I remember the two best decisions I ever made in my life. I remember the first decision was moving from Missouri to Texas when I was 20 years old. I came here. I didn't know a single soul. I was from my hometown of St. Joseph, Missouri. You could call it my comfort zone. I knew everybody, everywhere, every store I went, everywhere I would go, I would see people I know. It was my nest. But one day I left and I came here to the unknown. And let me tell you something, it is where all the magic happened for me in my life. I remember another time when I was in a real estate office, I had 300 agents in the office. I was always like the top three. I was always competing with the same guy and this other gal that was a luxury agent. A couple miles down the road, there was an office that had 1,000 agents in it. And I remember when I made the decision to leave that 300 agent office to go to the 1,000 agent office so I could be further down. I would have more people to compete with. I would have more unknown in that office. And that's where I met my wife. That's where I got started speaking and training and doing this was in that office. Everything that I've ever done in my life came from leaving the nest. And so I want you to let that stick. What is the nest to you right now? Where are you staying safe? Where are you staying in your comfort zone? And let's encourage each other, encourage yourself to go out in the unknown. As you're going to see, there's nothing to be scared of. Fear is nothing more than uncertainty of the future. It's all fear is. Like, why do most people not leave their hometown? Fear. Why do people not leave their old brokerage? Fear. Why do people not get into real estate? Fear. Why do people not succeed in real estate? Fear. And you see, here's what fear is. The choices that you make in the now, like right now, these choices you make right now in this moment will either extinguish or fuel your fear of the future. So what does that mean? If you go through your days in real estate without picking up a phone and prospecting for new business, you're probably going to be full of anxiety and uncertainty of the future because you don't know where your closings are going to come from because we're not doing what we got to do to get to those closings. So as long as we're doing our part, the actions in the now that will determine our fear or determine our success in the future. That's the only thing you control. You see, you don't control the future. You just control your actions in the now that lead to the future. Well, Hoss, man, I don't have this. I don't have that. Listen, I don't either. Like, I'm with you. Like, I don't know where the unknown is. The unknown, it's unknown. It's so much bigger than we could even think about it. But I just know I'm just going to suspend my disbelief, take the right actions in the now, do the things that I know I got to do now. So the future is certain. Whenever you don't do that and you make excuses for those actions that you're not doing in the now, you look back on your past, which sabotages your success in the future. And I want you to stop worrying about the future. And I want you to stop worrying about the past. Just take an eraser to your mind and erase the future, erase the past, And right now is all we got. That's why they call it the present, because it's a present. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all we got. So if you want to have more results in everything you do, focus on what you're doing. And I like the line, in this moment now. I talk to myself a lot, in this moment now. What am I doing in this moment now to get the results that I want? You see, I'm not going to be outcome oriented. I'm going to be action oriented. See the difference? Be action oriented, not outcome oriented, because when you're action oriented, the outcome is already certain. So fear is nothing more than, again, we got to get rid of it. I mean, it's stupid. Fear is like, a great book, by the way, is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill and Sharon Lechter, who's in our EXP organization. She wrote Outwitting the Devil. It's one of the best books there is on fear. And she talks about this in that book about fear. I mean, the book is literally Satan and Napoleon Hill having a conversation, and Satan's sitting there talking about why he uses fear and how he controls people's minds. And phenomenal book to read this time of year. Most agents have a fear of success in real estate. And I'll give you an example. 10 million is the magic number in real estate. If you can get to 10 million in volume, I can take you to 20, 30, 50, or 100 million. But I need you to be able to get to 10 million. Now I can help you get there, but so much of getting to 10 million in sales is going to be it's your actions. It's what we've already talked about. It's you doing what you got to do in the now to lead to the 10 million. You know, if you're at 5 million, you're trying to get to 10, like it's more on you than it is on the outside. Where to get to 10 to 20, it may be an investment. It may be into hiring somebody, right? But getting to 10 million is where you want to be. It's like the sweet spot. It's the magic number. And I'll take that a step further in agent attraction. I would say, if you were to look at, well, what's the magic number in agent attraction? I would tell you 100 people in your organization is the magic number. So get to 10 million in your real estate career, get to 100 people in your organization, and that's everything becomes easier after that, because so much of it again relies on your own habits and your own skills and your own actions. But what if I tell you right now, some of you, I say, hey, I want you to do 10 million. Some of you already thought, oh my God, I can't do that. I would have to hire an assistant. I would be running around. I wouldn't have time for this. You already convince yourself of why it won't work. And that's because we are our own worst enemy. I want you to get out of your own way. Don't worry about, the 10 million and what it's going to cost you. Don't overthink success. Simply duplicate it. Fear of failure is one of these fears that a lot of people have too. They're scared. They feel like they're going to fail. Like, I'll give you an example on this though. Like, I feel like I have a little fear of failure. That's what has driven me a lot in my career. I am not going to fail. I am not moving back. I am not going to prove all those people right. I am going to do what I got to do so I don't fail. And that fear of failure can be used as a good thing if you're using it to drive your actions. Like, I'm never going to let that happen again. I'm going to do everything I can in my power to succeed. So here's what I want you to do. Create an internal enemy. Like, who's your internal enemy? Like, I will never forget this time. I was in St. Joseph, Missouri. I had a lawn service and I was mowing grass, and I was a teenager. I was making 6 figures a year as a teenager, crushing it. And I was filling up my lawnmowers at the gas station. This guy pulls up next to me. He was a family friend, like the dad of a family friend. And he pulls up and he says, Hoss Pratt. I said, Terry, how you doing? He goes, still mowing grass, huh? I go, oh yeah, still mowing grass. He goes, when are you going to go get a real job? That's what he told me. When are you going to go get a real job? Let me say, that guy right there in that line motivated me for 10 years. It was an internal enemy. I will never go get a real job, Terry. I am unemployable. In this moment right here, from this moment on, I will never, ever, ever go get a real job. And that's what I told myself. It was an internal enemy. Maybe it's a competitor that says, oh, you ain't going to succeed. That's never going to work. Maybe it's a family member saying, why are you wasting your time out there doing this real estate thing? Why don't you go get a real job? Do you know how many people are hiring? You remember all the fixed thinkers that we're talking about? These right here is full of fixed thinkers, because fixed thinkers have to go to work on bringing you down, because if they don't bring you down, it proves them wrong. So they have to convince themselves of why you're wrong so they are right. So let's turn it into an internal enemy. I mean, even God has Satan. You know what I'm saying? We all need an enemy. For me, it's a status quo. I'm never going to be, everything I do is against the status quo. I think we're lied to from our whole life on what we should do, and from being conditioned to being, good little employees and not following our dreams. And the whole system is not set up for people like us. It's set up for everybody else. Are y'all with me on that? You see, that's the status quo to me. Like, I'm going to do everything I can against that status quo because I want to inspire other people to do the same, to follow their own dreams, because everything we want is on the other side of fear. Understand this. When you understand this, it changes everything. You see, right now you're scared of something. Your fear is stopping you from something. It's trying to keep you comfortable. But I want you to know that, like, that's, again, everything you want is on the other side of that action. I mean, I look at my family today. I'm hanging out with my family today. I'm like, kids, they're all home from school. I'm like, y'all be quiet. I got to go live. Okay. They're in there watching TV, putting together Legos. So if they go crazy in there, like, this is my family. Like, I have a house full of girls. That's my sorority. And but I look at them every day, y'all. I'm like, man, if I did not take action, every one of these, if I didn't make that move down here to where I didn't know anybody, none of these people would be here. If I didn't move to that real estate office where I met my wife, that, everybody told me I was crazy, my kids wouldn't be here. So, I look at this, like everything I want's on the other side of fear, because what I have today is a direct reflection of a choice that I want to say was hard to make, but most probably wouldn't have made it. And so go to that place. And I want to help you, give you some tools on this. There's 3 things that I'm going to cover. One of them is personal philosophy. For us to have a next level mindset, we got to adjust our personal philosophy, become aware of it, but also, is it skewed? Like, what's our personal philosophy? And I'm going to help you with personal philosophy, but also going to give you some personal power and personal growth, because these are the 3 P's of a powerful mindset: personal philosophy, your personal power, and your personal growth. How we doing, y'all? You doing good today? I like Ryan's chair and background, dude. Look at you, Ryan Turner, man. You're looking good back there. I like that. All right. Personal philosophy. What's your personal philosophy around money? You can thank your parents for giving it to you. You can thank your grandparents for giving it to them who gave it to you. Our personal philosophy around money. Like, how do you think about money? Is it bad? Ooh, money's the root of all evil. Money, 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 money. All this. Is it a negative feeling around money, or is it a positive thing? The fixed thinkers want us to have a negative reaction to money. Growth thinkers look at it like this: it's the accumulation of money is the byproduct of the mindset. Accumulate as much as your mindset desires. All it is a tool. Money's nothing but a tool. I don't have a negative relationship towards it. I know the more I grow, the more I bring in. And it's no different, not only with money, but also with business. I want to talk about business for a minute, because some of you love your business, don't you? Like, it's business. Like, this is your life. This is your everything. I want to challenge you to don't give it so much space. Your business is not your life. Like, it's simply the vehicle that you chose to fund your life. But if we think business is our life and everything is about business and everything is about making money, and that's the only thing we care about, how are our relationships going to be? Right? Let me talk to your spouse. You know what I'm saying? If that's your case, she's going to complain she never sees you. All you do is work. All you think about is work. All you want to talk about. Like, trust me, I've been down that road. Some of you all have too, because we have different seasons of personal philosophies. But I want you to get to the place that this is simply a vehicle that we chose to fund our life. If we think about it, anything else, there's going to be collateral damage. There's going to be casualties, and we don't want casualties. We want success in all areas. If we think business is life, we're going to not focus on the high leverage activities as much, because we're just going to let it consume every single waking second of the day. And I would rather you time block your business than let it consume every little single thing of the day. I would rather you to take your actions, the high leverage activity actions in the now, in the area of business, so you can extract maximum results, as we talked about in time management last week. So What is your personal philosophy on time? We talked about time. Listen, we all have 24 hours in a day. What we want to do is we want to maximize the results in the time dedicated to the specific event. Business, spiritual, family, personal, all of those areas that we talk into goal setting. It's not just business, it's all those things. And so what can we do to invest our time to extract maximum results? When we change the relationship that we have to business, to time, and to money, it gives us power. And some of you, I'm just going to say some of you, you really need to go back and look at what we just covered. Your relationship to those things may not be where it needs to be. And so I want you to give yourself permission to be vulnerable there and like have an upfront, honest conversation with yourself and reflect, because we need personal power if we're going to get a next level mindset. And personal power is the best version of you in you. See, I believe this. I believe there's a best version of yourself inside you. And we're constantly, it's like we're chiseling away. It's like, you ever see those images of like, of creating the best you, and it's in you, and they're chiseling it out, and like, and it starts to, you start to see it. You start to see, that the personal power inside you. This is the same thing, is the best version of yourself. Y'all know, I know there's a best version of me in me. I'm always comparing myself to that person. Y'all with me? Like, I know that I can do it. I know that version. I'm always aiming for that person. So like, think about it like a battle, like two people. There's a you here, right now. And then there's this other version that is inside you that is your best version. And that best version is reached not only through the things we're covering today, but it's also the awareness that it exists, because this gives us the personal power we need to take massive action. And I want to share this with you because this is one of the, it's a key right here. A key to success is definiteness of purpose. Why do we not have to worry about fear? Why do we not have to worry about results? Why do we not have to worry about these things? Because we're focused on our actions in the now, but there's this law that is the definiteness of purpose that attracts everything to us. Successful people move in their own initiative, but they know where they are before they start. So here's what this means. Definiteness of purpose means this. You know the reason that my story and what I just shared, why do I look at like my family, I share my family. Why do I share that? Because of course, those choices lead to what I want. Why? Because definiteness of purpose favors the person who leaves the nest. The person who's willing to go from here to there into the unknown is the one who is favored. Fortune favors the bold. Like, you can't get everything that you want in this life by thinking fixed and staying the same. You're either growing or dying. We already know that, but there's this road that is unseen on this path that you don't know. Maybe you don't know about, but like you're going to get to a point in your life where you look back and you see all the choices that you've made, and you see all the paths and the people that came into your life, and you see how it zigged and zanged, and you're like, man, like I could have never prepared for that. I could have never planned for that because I didn't know what was going to come. I just knew I was going to take my action, do my part. And this definiteness of purpose, y'all, is real. It's what gives you a personal power. You don't need to know where everything and how everything's going to fall into play. Go with your instincts, your intuition, and eliminate your fear, and the best version of yourself will be revealed. You with me? Lisa, you have somebody there behind you bringing you something there. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on in. So here's the deal. What do we do with that? Well, we got to remind ourselves. It's like taking a bath. We got to do this every day. Like, this whole personal development thing, mindset thing is so elementary. Like, we don't even need to complicate it. Everything we're covering, it's easy stuff. Like, we need to tell ourselves what we are. Like, we need some affirmations. We need daily reminders I love this right here. I want to share this. We can take a picture of it, but here's some testimony. Let me find where I am there. Some statements, the I am statements that will help remind you. So I'd like to see you have some of these in your, in front of you, whatever that is, that you're reminding yourself of who that best version is. And you're always chiseling away at yourself, revealing the best version of yourself. Like this, I am blessed. I am well able. I am successful. I am victorious. I am talented. I am energetic. I am happy. I am positive. I am passionate. I am strong. I am confident. I am secure. I am beautiful. I am attractive. I am valuable. I am free. I am redeemed. I am forgiven. I am anointed. I am accepted. I am approved. I am prepared. I am qualified. I am motivated. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am determined. I am patient. I am kind. I am generous. I am excellent. I am equipped. I am empowered. I am prosperous. This right here is what we got to remind ourselves every day. Whatever that looks like to you, I want you to find affirmations that speak to you. These affirmations are things that, look, I may not feel up to it today. I may feel a little bit beat down. I mean, I'm a little bit under the weather today, but y'all, I ain't entertaining it. I'm still all of these things. Even today, you may wake up and not feel like, oh man, I don't feel confident today. It's okay. Like, that's all normal. Remind yourself of what you are, because that is the enemy. That is fear preventing you from taking those actions. Remember that I am statements. Now, your fixed thinkers will think this is hokey, won't they? You do that. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. Why do you do those goal things? Why do you have a goal board in your house? Like, what? They don't understand. It's like seeing an alien. Remember, it's because they work hard. They have to work real hard to stay fixed. And so when somebody like you comes around, man, it changes everything, especially whenever you look at personal growth, because this is where it removes the lid to what you can achieve. I love personal growth. This is why I do what I do right here. I love personal growth. I love personal development. I love helping people in this area. I love practicing it. I love doing it. I love studying it, learning about it, because I look at life as this. We have one life, all of us. And I have a saying around that, and it's one life fully lived. One life fully lived. At the end of the day, I'm going to be pushing up daisies at someday. I want to be able to say, I left it all in the field. I became the best version of myself. Thank God I was an inspiration to people. That's what I want, right? And I know this, that in the jungle, in the area of doing this, I look at bamboo trees. I love the bamboo trees. Here's why. Bamboo trees, it's kind of like, I'll give you a story. Let's say you're a farmer. You go out and you plant bamboo. When you drop the seed, you go out every day, you water it, nourish it, cultivate it, fertilize it every day. You're just watering this bamboo seed. After a year, you don't see anything growing. It's like, dang, where's all the results? All this hard work, nothing showing for it. Then year two, still nothing's growing. You're still grinding it out and growing this bamboo tree. You're getting frustrated by year three because you're still not seeing results. But by year four, still nothing. But year five, as you're about to throw in the towel on all this, you walk out there one day and you see a little green leaf. Came up. And you're like, man, there it is. There's the bamboo tree. You go out there the next week, this thing has grown like 18 feet. So a bamboo tree grows that way. And your personal growth and your personal development is oftentimes, most of the time, no, all the time, like a bamboo tree, because it takes work to put in the roots. The roots are what we're growing for 5 years. What we see is 5 years later is the tree growing. So most people would say, well, look, that bamboo tree, it's an overnight success. Look at that thing, grew 18 feet like a week. No, there's no such thing as an overnight success, because for the last 5 years, that bamboo tree has been growing roots, deep roots, that to the point, these bamboo trees are going to take over your entire yard. They're going to take over everything. Why? Because they've been growing roots for 5 years. And I look at your success like this. I want you to be growing roots so deep that they say, wow, look, it's an overnight success. It's not true. You see, when we grow roots, it gives us power because nobody can take away our skills. And so much of what we do is so much of what I teach is in freedom. So for you to have freedom, I know you need skills. Because it's easy to get without skills. People can just come and take it away from us. With skills, with talent, with ability, with deep roots, the hounds of hell couldn't take our success away from us. The wind blows, it ain't taking nothing away. We go like nothing's going anywhere. Why? Because we grew deep roots. And I want y'all to know, when you're putting in the work, you're looking for the results. Oftentimes you're going to feel like a bamboo tree. But someday you're going to see that bamboo tree, and you're going to see a field of bamboo, and you're going to be grateful for the roots. I look at this, I'm grateful for the roots, grateful for every decision that I ever made to grow roots, grateful to making the choices to do my actions in the now that would lead to deep roots, that would lead to a field of bamboo, right? And that right there to me is the answer to success, is growing deep roots. And as old Jim Rohn says, income seldom exceeds your own personal development. So I love real estate. I love residential real estate because it gives us an environment to be able to grow personally. Does it not, y'all? Doesn't it? It's the best environment in the world for personal development. I mean, look at this, like training today. Like, how I teach this stuff is because I learn from people where in this industry, this stuff is so important, and we're in a hemisphere of personal development. The best of the best in the industry are all people who get this, and we are surrounded by it, which for that I'm grateful. I mean, could you imagine being like in the insurance business? You know what I mean? I doubt they're out there talking about fixed thinking too much. You know what I mean? Maybe they are. I don't know. I like real estate. I like the 4 levels of learning. These 4 levels of learning are this. You don't know what you don't know. So don't go out there thinking you know everything. Don't build the know-it-all wall. The know-it-all wall is the wall that you build around receiving because you think you know everything. There's going to be family around Christmas that you'd probably be around. These folks have the know-it-all wall. They know it all. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I'll be honest. I just, I got a few of those too, but I won't name any names, but listen, here's the deal. The know-it-all wall is what prevents people from ever receiving. The more I learn, the more I realize what I don't know. The more I know what I don't know. That's where we want to be, to a place of we're always receiving, because the next is now something. See, like look behind me, see all my books. There's, I don't know, 1,500 books in my library. There's actually way more than even this, but I could read all of those books and know every single thing in them. But until I experience what I know, it won't become a skill. I have to experience that knowledge, put it to work for it to become a root. And a blind spot people have is they go around reading and not taking action. They go attending these trainings and so now they know, but they don't take action. They know how to set goals because they went through my goal setting class, but they never did it. And because they never did it, they never received it. And so I want you to fall in love with experiencing the things that you know. Doing the work is in the experience. And that experience is what will lead to the skill, which will lead to those roots. A deadly cycle is you just going around knowing stuff, just knowing, just wanting to learn. And here's the thing, it's a blind spot. Some of you spend too much time learning and not doing. I'm not saying don't show up here. I'm saying show up here, but then as soon as we get done, go do the work. It's time to do the work. Education is great. Learning is great. This is awesome stuff to know, but unless we experience it, it won't become a skill. It ain't going to stick. Some of you guys that's me. That's a lot of people. I've done thousands of seminars, y'all. And you know how many seminars that would be the same people showing up front row. And I'd come back years later and their business would not even change. They're just in this cycle of learning. And I want you to, learning is a lot of fun. Knowing is a lot of fun. but there's more fun in having the skills. And just know that. So like, there's a season for learning. There's a season for doing. There's different types of seasons, but the experience is what out of all of these things is the most important. Y'all with me? You agree? Yeah. Matthew says, of course, man.
Let's go.
It's about becoming a skillionaire. You know what I mean? You got to become a skillionaire. You got to do these things. You can't become a millionaire before you become a skillionaire. You can't become a skillionaire to experience what it is that you know. And Malcolm Gladwell talks about it in a book called The Tipping Point, where it's 10,000 hours. 10 years or 10,000 hours is that experiencing. I don't even care how much time it is. I'm just going to do the experience because that's what leads to the results. But it shouldn't take 10 years when you have the right model, as you're going to see. So here's the success gap. You're right here, right now. You want to be here. We're coming up on a new year. The success gap is let's say you're closing out this year with 10 million. You want to get to 20 next year. There's the gap. Right. So the gap is where you are from right now to where you want to be. And so what we want to do is we want to surround ourselves with gap closers. The question is how are you going to close the gap? Here's a hint: experience more in the next year. If you do the experience, don't learn your way to close the gap, experience your way to close the gap. Take full ownership of closing the gap. Know that I am not going to close the gap for you. EXP isn't going to close the gap for you. Your spouse isn't going to close the gap for you. Your broker isn't going to close the gap. This is what's beautiful about this. It's up to you. Like, that's the best part. So now, but we are all resources to help you close the gap. Like, there's nothing I won't help any of you do to close the gap. I would do anything to help y'all. Y'all know that. And, but the key word is you. I'm not going to call up Ryan tomorrow and be like, hey, Ryan, man, you closing that gap? Doing the work? How's it all going? Oh, man, Hoss, I take my kids to school, doing this. Like that right there, what I'm talking about is we got to own it. And when we own it, it's much easier because then we take control of our success. I know for me, like, I didn't go to college. I barely made it through high school. I'm dyslexic, so like I don't do good in school. And I didn't really ever like what I learned in school. That was me. I'm like, why are they teaching me this stuff? I want to learn what I want to learn. That's going to apply. That's going to get results. So but I always invested in myself, from coaching to seminars, to going to conventions, to going to masterminds, going to the conference, doing that. Investing in yourself is key. I would like to see all of you invest more in your success in 2022. Put your money where your mouth is, as they say, right? Get out there, put some skin in the game, because investing in yourself is the greatest gift that you could ever invest. And I heard if you want to make $1 million, you got to invest $1 million in your education. If you want to make 500,000, you got to invest 500,000 in your education. You want to make 100,000, you got to invest 100,000 in your education. Now that, I think there may be something to that, but the investing in yourself is something that is going to reap rewards. So like whatever that looks like to you, be the person who will invest in you. If you won't invest in yourself, then I won't either. Who else will? So, because remember, we're not the person today that we're going to become. And I know for me, like at every level, remember today's next level mindset, at every single level that I've reached, it was on the other side of a substantial investment. So like with EXP, for example, Tarek, I met Tarek El Moussa, Lisa Copeland, Sharon Lecter. I met all of these amazing people that are now here with us in our organization. I met them through a company that I invested $100,000 in. Like I invested $100,000 into this company, but it really was into myself. I was investing in Hoss Pratt. So, and I wrote the check for $100,000. And remember, everything you want's on the other side of fear. Well, on the other side of that investment, we got over 1,000 people in our EXP organization and growing, leaps and bounds, like that's what I'm talking about is everything you want is usually on the other side of an investment. So don't be the one who doesn't want to invest in yourself, because maybe that's the room that you needed to be in to get to where you wanted to be, to know who you needed to know. I know that was for me, and it has usually in everything I do. I will always bet on me. It's the one place I can invest and I can control the outcome. So here's what we want to do next is we want to model success. Finding a model in everything we do is going to help everything we do. Like, look, I'll tell you, I ain't the smartest guy in the room. I am not the model. I have models. I've had models putting in the work, and that they lead to other models. But like, I just look at somebody and look at a thing, and that's my model. That's who I'm going to become. That's what I'm going to do. And in modeling success, it's going to take a lot of the guesswork out. It's like old Tony Robbins says, if you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. When I like this quote, but I wouldn't say copy what they do, because I don't copy what people do. I model people, and it becomes my own version because of me. So like, your version will look different than my version. So like, don't try to be somebody else, but model somebody else, and give yourself permission to grow in that. And what will happen is you'll have your own model. So what does that look like? Well, we got to have coaches, mentors, products, training, mastermind groups, audio, and books. So work more in the next year on learning from other people. Like back here, like I have so many like courses and trainings, 30-day programs, 90-day programs, the stuff that I've gone through. I've gone through week-long seminars. I've gone through 7 days with Tony Robbins, like investing heavily in me, because like, we're just chiseling away at this dude. We're just chiseling away. Like, where else can we get the distinctions? Where else can we go to keep chiseling? And so if we're investing in ourselves, the answer is in, and you have a coach. I have the world's greatest coaches and mentors. I have my whole life. That's why I didn't go to college. I'd rather invest in a good coach and mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I want my money to go. I'm going to invest in the Listing Boss Academy, or a training, a product that I can follow, a model that I can apply massive action to. You got to have that. We got to have consistent audio, books, training. Start listening to more audio books. Get these things in you. It's just as easy to watch the news as it is to listen to a good audiobook. Mastermind groups. I know, well, we do so much just as a company. Like, do more in the year ahead to get in those rooms. We all do that. That's what I want to challenge you to do. Do more to get there. So who is your model? I remember this time I was a broke realtor, and I didn't have, checking on my time here, we got 10 minutes. I was broke, and I was 20 or 21 years old at the time. And I was about to move back to Missouri because I failed. And I remember I pulled in, I thought I failed. And I pull into the real estate office one day, and I see all of these wrapped Hummers. There was like 5 of them. Remember back in the day when Hummers became wrapped, and remember that? Like, it's like, what the hell is that thing? Like, it was like seeing a UFO. I've never seen one before. And I remember I pull into my real estate office, and this dude had 5 wrapped Hummers with his picture on the side. And I'm like, I've never seen such a thing in all my life. And I go and I walk into my real estate office, and I ask my broker, I go, who is this guy? Like, what is this? Like, this guy, she goes, he's your age. He just moved here. He's actually a year, maybe 2 years older than me. And she goes, he just moved here from another Keller Williams office. And she goes, that's Michael Reese. There he is, right down there. And I go, where's he at? And I walk down the hallway to go meet Mike Reese. And by the way, Mike Reese is the Mike Reese. He's like one of the top guys at EXP now. But like, some of you guys even know him. But that was the first time I saw success at a young age of a young agent succeeding at a high level in real estate. When I saw it, it blew my mind. And the next day I had my first listing. The next day I took my second listing. 30 days later, I had 30 listings in the ground. He was my number one competitor. We went on every appointment against each other. Why? Because it was a 5-minute mile. I'm like, I saw it for the first time that there is somebody young that can sell a lot of real estate. And you see, that blew my mind. So we're always looking for those models, and shattering those models, right? And being able to shatter our own beliefs, because beliefs are what we got to change. Changing our beliefs about ourselves. Like, I had a belief, obviously, that I couldn't succeed at that age because I never saw it. I was trying to become the model when the model was in front of me. And you know who his model was Jay Kinder. Jay Kinder was his model. And who was his model? Craig Proctor. So like, you have model and model and model and model, and you need to get in line following a model so you can change your beliefs. You can change your story, because our story that we tell ourselves is key. So what's that mean? There's 4 phases of success. The adrenaline phase, the choice phase, the story phase, and the results phase. So the adrenaline phase is you decided, I'm getting into real estate. And then all of a sudden you're fired up, right? And then the choice phase comes. Like I just told you my choice phase. I was broke. I was getting ready to move to Missouri. I was getting ready to move back. I was at a place. Did I make the right choice? Why did I leave? Making 6 figures mowing grass to come to a place where I don't know anybody. Did I make the right choice? Is this real estate thing for me? And then here's what happens. Now we go to work on looking for things to build that story. That's why fixed thinkers look at you and they got to handle themselves that way, is because they're protecting their story. They're looking for things that build their story. And so are you, whether you know it or not. So once we do that and we decide, we hit the story phase. This is where this story to support that choice that we made. And then that leads to the result. So what story are you telling yourself? What are you looking for? Are you looking for the agent that out there that's not succeeding? Are you looking for the agents that aren't out there maximizing revenue share? Oh, see, this thing, it's not real, man. Only the top people get it, right? All this, you're telling yourself that story. That's BS. You know, that's it. That's a BS story. So what stories do you have that are preventing you from growing? You see, unless you know that they're there, then we can't go take them out. But I want you to tell yourself an impactful story that you can achieve and become anything you want in life and business. And look, we're going to see what you're going to do. We've seen what other people have done. We're going to see what you're going to do, because the story phase is crucial to the story you tell yourself that makes you successful. And remember, beliefs. There's something believed in of or in a conviction. Beliefs, but understanding that your story is built on your beliefs, and you're 100% responsible for your success. Your only limitations are the ones you put on yourself, and you become what you think. This is what everything is about right here. Is it's up to you. It's your beliefs that lead to the story. And so why do we need personal development? Because it helps us change our beliefs. It helps us tell a better story. Why do we need to be in the right room? So we can see other people that other models that have done it, that shatter the belief that we can't. Like, this is, to me, y'all, is mindset in everything that we do. You can go deeper into each of these areas, but like a good 30,000 foot view is everything that we covered in helping you grow and helping you become the best version of yourself. And the best part is you don't ever get to a point where you're done. This is something that you're going to always be through our whole life. We're going to be challenging all of these things in all of these areas at different stages and chapters in our life. So it's something that we better get used to, because it's not going anywhere. And we got to get the habits in us, the roots deep, so we can have long lasting success, y'all. And that's what I want to encourage all of you to do. I want to speed up here because I'm out of time, but I want you to self-assess your beliefs. Like, what blind spots do you have? And be honest and real with yourself. What blind spots? Are you seeing things a little different? Do you think maybe there's areas that you could adjust? Write your I am statements. Your write the testimony to yourself of what you are. Remind yourself every day. Complete personal philosophies. Identify your personal values and name your alter ego. Your alter ego is the best version of yourself. So put a name to that person. My name, I got several alter egos, but Boss Hoss is that dude is. As long as I can become Boss Hoss, you know what I mean? I'm chiseling away, baby. I'm just like, that's my alter ego. Like sometimes, he doesn't show up and I got to remind myself, he's got to show up. So what is your alter ego? Stop putting yourself on the appointment. Put your alter ego on the appointment. Stop putting yourself on the phone. Put the alter ego on the phone. Your alter ego doesn't have the same fears and limitations that you do. And it gives you permission to be the best version of yourself. So with that, y'all, thank you. Hope this helps you today. I'm looking forward to working with all of you in the year ahead, helping you, just get this every day, every single day, just chiseling away. And here's the deal. In 12 months, we're going to look back. And my question is what would have to happen in the next 12 months for you to consider your year a smashing success? And look at that and reflect on that over the holiday and be ready to hit the ground running in the new year. So thank you guys for joining me. Hope this helps y'all. Go out there and take massive action. We'll talk to you soon.